You rate yourself when it comes to, point guard position?
Top 5 for sure.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.
So just a few days ago, Ja Morant did an interview, and in the interview, he said something that shocked a lot of people when he said that he believes he's a top 5 point guard in the league. And pretty much everyone disagreed with what he said, and I thought it was a pretty interesting topic. So in today's video, I'll be giving you some reasons to why I think Ja Morant is a top 5 point guard in the league. Nah, I'm just joking. In today's video, I'll be giving you reasons to why Ja Morant isn't a top 5 point guard in the league. Before we get into the video, I ask you to drop a like on this video as it does help my channel grow. Subscribe to my channel if you want weekly NBA content and to reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers. And comment on this video to start a conversation with me as I do respond to all comments. And play that intro. First of all, it should be pretty clear that Ja is not a top 5 point guard in the league. Although most people did not agree with Morant, as they should, I did see some people saying that they think Ja's a top 5 point guard in the league. And I'm just going to say this, if you actually believe that, you need to start watching some of my videos so you can learn some NBA knowledge. But nah, I'm just playing. But make it clear, he's not top 5. But you also shouldn't start hating on him because he claimed he's a top 5 point guard, because he should be able to have self-confidence in himself. And it's not like Ja is some scrub, because although he's clearly not a top 5 point guard, he's kind of outside of it. So people need to stop acting like he's someone like Ricky Rubio. Don't get it twisted. Ja can play, but he's not top 5. But now to quickly disprove Ja's statement, he's obviously not the best point guard in the league. That title goes to this guy over here, Steph Curry. He's not better than Damian Lillard, who's the second best point guard in the league. I don't even think I have to explain why that is. He's not better than Luka Doncic. I don't really have to explain that either. He's not better than Kyrie Irving, and the reason he's not better than Kyrie is because Kyrie puts up way numbers and is just simply a way better scorer. And he has proven that he steps up in big moments, something that Ja hasn't done yet in his career as he hasn't made the playoffs. He's not better than Chris Paul because although they put up kind of similar numbers, Paul is just a much better leader and he's more clutch, and he's just Chris Paul, you know what I mean? Ja Morant isn't better than Russell Westbrook because his numbers are way worse than Westbrook's, and Westbrook literally does everything better on the court except for shooting. And at the same time, Ja's not even that much good of a shooter either. Morant is not better than Ben Simmons because no matter how much you hate Simmons, you have to admit that he's one of the more valuable and impactful players in the entire NBA because of his defensive play, playmaking, and rebounding. How could I forget to mention Trae Young, who is definitely better than Ja because he's leading his team to a significantly better record even though they've been dealing with injuries, and Trae's numbers are just simply way better. Ja Morant also is not better than De'Aaron Fox, who's the most underrated player in the NBA to me because his numbers are way better than Ja, and although his team has a worse record, he simply has no help, so it's not really his fault. Trust me, there's no doubt in my mind that Ja is worse than De'Aaron Fox. Now is where we get to the people who are very close and arguable when compared to Ja. So far, I have named 9 point guards who I think are better than Ja Morant, and honestly, before making this video, I thought I would have Ja in my top 10, but now it's looking like he might not be top 10. I would also say that Ja Morant is better than Jrue Holiday and Mike Conley, only because I don't think there's a world where any of those guys could lead Memphis to a near playoff spot or a playoff spot like Ja has in his first 2 seasons. And although Malcolm Brogdon has been excellent this year, and he's one of the more underrated players in the league in my opinion, I do think Ja is better than him, simply because Malcolm seems more like a third option, whereas Ja seems like he can be a number 1 option on a pretty good team. And it was starting to look like Ja would make the top 10, but there's 2 point guards that I haven't named who I think are better than him. The first one is Kyle Lowry because although his stats aren't eye-popping, he does a lot of the little hustle things that won't show up on the stat sheet, and they just impact winning, and Ja doesn't really do those things. Also, Lowry's a really good leader and he's a solid defender, and he has shown himself to be a good playoff performer. The other guy, although he's injured right now, but he's clearly better than Ja, is Jamal Murray, because we've seen what he's done in the playoffs, and he's kind of inconsistent, but he's still a dynamic scorer who can play well with others. By the way, this was not a ranking video of my top 10 point guards. I was naming 10 point guards or more who I think are better than Ja Morant. And honestly, I'm not a Ja Morant hater because it seems like there's a lot of them nowadays. I just honestly think these guys are better in my opinion. But 4 or 5 years from now, if you come back and tell me that Ja is a top 5 or even a top 3 point guard in the league, I will not be shocked at all. I would actually expect it because I think he has Russell Westbrook and prime Derrick Rose potential. But at this moment, in only his second season, I don't think he's a top 10 point guard in the league. But next season, he probably will be one. And also, you have to realize that Ja not being in the top 10 doesn't mean that Ja's a bad player or anything like that. It just shows how talented the league is in 2021. So this was not a Ja Morant hate video or anything close to it. I just came out here to give my opinion on whether or not I think he's top 5. And it turns out that I found out he's not even in my top 10. Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. Let me know where you would rank Ja Morant in the top point guards in the league. Drop a like on this video as it does help my channel grow. Subscribe to my channel if you want weekly NBA content and to help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers. And comment on this video, start a conversation as I do respond to all of my comments. And I'm out.